welcome to Veracious. In the previous video, we spoke about the energy refined petroleum products problem in Nigeria, the reason why we are standing on long queues in filling stations or in energy stations. And then we said that the problem was, or the reasons why that was happening is because of corruption and greed. And in that video, I promised I was going to put figures to this challenge. So in this video, we are going to see how this goes. How can the energy problem in Nigeria be tackled successfully? What can we naturally do as a country? Now, in terms of natural gas, Nigeria, it's ranked 13 in terms of global exports. We stand 9 in terms of reserve. Nigerian reserve is number 9 in the world. In Africa, we are the first country. That's to say, our reserve is placed at 187 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, and that's to say that Nigeria reserve is about 306 times its annual consumption. That's to say that if Nigeria was to steadily consume its natural gas without exploring to discover another fuels, then Nigeria is likely to exhaust its natural gas reserve in the next 306 years. Crazy estimate, and that's true. That shows how we are blessed. In terms of crude oil, we rank 7 in global export. We rank 2 in Africa after Libya, and then we rank number 10 globally in terms of reserve. Our Nigerian reserve is pegged at 37 billion barrel. A country so much blessed in terms of petroleum resources. Now, our daily exports in this country stands at 1.398 million barrel, and this is equivalent to 222.3 million liters of crude oil daily export. In 2019, our annual export was placed at annual import of refined petroleum products was placed at 25.7 billion liters of refined petroleum products. Well, this fact is from Vanguard of 9th 2020. I repeat, 9th 2020 Vanguard newspaper. Now, that means that our daily refined petroleum products imports is 70 million liters per day. Now, look at the difference. So we export 222.3 million liters of crude oil per day, and we import 70 million liters of refined petroleum products per day. I mean, when I talk of refined petroleum products, what do I mean? I'm talking about the PMS, the premium motor spirit, that's the petrol. I'm talking about the AGO, the automotive gas oil, that's diesel. I'm talking about DPK, the household kerosene. I'm talking about the ATG, the aviation turbine gas. I'm talking about the bitumen. I'm talking about the base oil. I'm talking about the lower power fuel oil. All these are what we mean when we talk about the refined petroleum products. So let's look at the numbers. 70 million liters is our daily consumption. But in the previous video, I've already explained that this is not true, because as of 2016, 2017, 2018, our daily refined petroleum product consumption was pegged at 34.5 approximately in those 3 years, 34.5 million liters of refined petroleum products. So it's not likely that in 2019 we are beginning to consume 70 million liters. And I've explained that the reason for this is because of corruption and greed. I mean, take for instance, which country, when the petrol is imported, or when refined petroleum products is imported into the country, some of them are smuggled across borders. For instance, Cameroon is one of these culprits. Some of these refined petroleum products are smuggled into Cameroon. In Cameroon, a liter of petrol sells at $1.18, whereas in Nigeria, a liter of petrol sells at $0.42. So check the margin, and you know what Nigerians marketers want to do in order to make more profit from their sales. Again, I talked about corruption. Of course, the issue of Nigerian petrol leaving to the borders of Niger Republic is a political issue, and that is not for the domain of this video for us to discuss. So from the foregoing, it's therefore obvious that Nigeria pays more for imported refined petroleum products than for crude oil, not necessarily because we consume more refined petroleum products, but rather because we consume more refined petroleum product than the export. But because of the following reason. Number one, for every 1 barrel of crude oil we export. We export. We import. During import, we are importing additional 11 liters. I mean, look at the numbers. 1 barrel of crude oil is equivalent to 159 liters of crude oil and is equivalent to 170 liters of refined petroleum product. So for every 1 barrel export we make, we import additional and pay for additional 11 liters of refined petroleum product. Again, 1 barrel of refined petroleum products cost more than 1 barrel of crude oil. Remember the numbers. We have said before that daily, our export is 222.3 million liters of crude oil. And daily, our imports is 70 million liters. Check out the margin. That's to mean that every day, Nigeria pays $119.1 million for imported products than exported products. So why won't we have problem? Amidst that, some people are smuggling petrol out of the country. Some people are smuggling diesel out of the country. A lot of refined petroleum products are being smuggled out of the country. What would have been the solution? I mean, domestic processing of our crude oil. Where will we have processed our crude oil? In the refineries. Do we have refineries? Yes. 5 refineries we have. 4 government-owned, 1 Niger Delta-owned. But are this refinery processing anything? As at 2019, on July precisely, this refinery stopped production. And up till today, they are not producing even zero. They are not processing even 0 liters of crude oil. Are you surprised? I'm surprised. Of course, 4 of these refineries, 2 in Port Harcourt, the 2 refineries in Port Harcourt, one was commissioned in 1965, the other one was commissioned in 1989. The Warri refinery was commissioned in 1978, the Kaduna refinery was commissioned in 1983, and the Niger Delta Petroleum Resources refinery was commissioned in 2010. It's surprising that of this 5 refineries, none is processing any of our crude oil. That's to mean that the entire 70 million liters we claim to be using in the country are all imported. Imagine a country so blessed, but yet so poor. Imagine a country so rich in resources, yet so poor in management. I mean, that is the fate of my country, Nigeria. Last year, 2021, Timmy Priscilla put a bill to the House for the House to approve $1.5 billion in order for these refineries to be renovated, the one in Port Harcourt to be renovated and in use. I mean, the House turned it down because, of course, Nigerian thing, we know that at the end of the day, this refinery, this money will not be used for the purpose in which it's disbursed for. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us as a country? Why can't this refinery be put in place? And before you know it, Dangote will monopolize the entire production. And I tell you, the cost may still be similar, if not the same thing, with what we get outside this country. I don't want to begin to talk about the cement production and how he sells cement to us in Nigeria as compared to other countries. What is really wrong with us? God will one day, it's not just about God. We ourselves, we need to stand up. We need to begin to speak this language for everyone to know. We need to begin to tell the evil that is happening for everyone to know, so that a time has gradually come for the country, for the leadership of this country to understand that there is a need for a positive change, a change that will make the poor to also feel that they belong to a country.